I'm gonna take my hair out so y'all know I don't play about being silky, especially if you're here because you've seen my Dominican blowout versus silk press video and you're like, okay, I'm with you, I want a silk press. We're gonna help you get the best silk press stylist in your area that suits your preferences. We're gonna do this together, but let me show you the silk. Wrap on go. Look, I did that and it dropped. Yeah. Hey baby loves, welcome back to the fiesta. If you're new here, my name is Keishana the Boy, and if you're not, you're loyal. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell below if you're interested in seeing weekly hair or skin product reviews, tips, tricks, and advice. I know my part isn't exactly straight, I just don't have the energy to fix it, but as I already said, this video is for all the girls who have decided that they want a silk press. They just need a little help in making sure that they can pick the right stylist and just have a great experience, because I'm really big on exactly that, picking the right stylist and having a wonderful experience, because I only straighten my hair once a year. So step one is search. The search is the absolute most important part of this process, because picking the wrong stylist will obviously mess up the entire experience. So I take this part very seriously. So what you're gonna do is go onto any social media of your preference and you're going to type in the search bar your location, silk press. So New York, silk press, or your location, natural hairstylist. So New York, natural hairstylist. I'm gonna use Instagram for my example because that is what I've used in the past 5 years. So I do encourage you to use Instagram if it's already a platform you use. I type in the two things that I just mentioned and I go through two different parts. I either go through the accounts or I go through the tags. I mostly focus on the tags. What I'm looking for in the tag section is, yes, pictures, but videos. A lot more stylists luckily have been putting videos of their processes. Scroll, keep looking. Don't focus on the likes that they've gotten. Don't focus on the followers they have. Focus on the quality of the hair. 3 things you're gonna look for while you're doing that scroll. I already mentioned the videos. Focus more on videos than pictures. Really try to focus on their technique and services. Regardless of how much you know about silk press or not, go off of your feeling when you're watching it. If you're like, dang, that looks good, that's a good thing. Whatever your preferences are that you know already, try your best to look for those things in those videos, because that'll lead you towards the right stylist for you. Something that's very helpful when you're on someone's page, right? You try to look through the comments and see if you can see any iffy or negative comments. See how they responded to them. Some people don't get negative comments, but some people delete them. So you need to kind of search if you can. Look at the most recent thing they post. Look at their tag photos. You definitely can't trust everyone's negative reaction because people always have something to say. Sometimes it's not the stylist's fault at all, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be reading them. Go through anything that you can find, because you want to be able to find it as soon as possible. You don't want to already be sitting in their chair having that experience yourself when you could have just read the comment and seen what the problem was. Brownie points if you can find how the stylist or the salon responded. There are unfortunately a lot of people in the beauty industry right now that are not professional. They are not conducting their business correctly. And if you're gonna be in that space in the salon or with this stylist, you wanna make sure that you feel comfortable, that you feel safe, that if you have a question or if you're bothered by something happening in your hair, you can speak up without fearing that something's gonna happen to you or your hair. Okay, just try your best to get someone that is conducting their business as professional as possible, and you're gonna hear me mention that a few more times because it is a big deal. If it is your first time getting a silk press, I'm going to really recommend that you get someone that is a licensed cosmetologist or certified in natural hair, like whatever the case may be. Try your best to find that person just so that you can avoid any issues. Basically, the goal here is off of this profile, portfolio, whatever you want to call it, because basically Instagram is like a portfolio for them. I like what I see. That is literally the first step. I like what I see. I like what you're presenting me. I'm gonna go to the next step. The next step is pricing and services. If this is your literal first time getting a silk press, you need to try to figure out what is the average cost for a silk press and these services in my area. So the 2 places that I've gotten silk presses is New York and Houston. New York has been much more expensive for silk presses and any add-on services than it has been in Houston, but that just makes sense for their locations, right? So technically I've gone to more expensive places in Houston than what the average is. But that's okay to me because they had services that I wanted. So if you've ever seen a video of a silk press and you're like, ooh, I love that they do a steam treatment. I love that they do an aloe treatment. This is from personal experience and what has made me book people because I wanted to try these things. However, if you just want a basic silk press and that's all you know and that's all you need for the first time, like I did, the first 2 years, all I did is just basic silk press. Either way, the goal right now is figure out what should this cost and what services can I add on. If you want to trim or any of those things that I mentioned, check it out, see what stylist can provide that for you, and if the price works for you. By the end of that, you should have your top choice. But I'm gonna recommend that you have a second in place because step 3 is booking. I have actually had a top choice before and be like, I can't wait, went to go book and said, I'm not doing this. Let me elaborate. Some of these stylists, as I already mentioned, are not professional. You can go on someone's site nowadays and see their level of expertise and professionalism automatically. And I'm telling you, I've had a bad experience before. I went to book, questioned it, said, oh, but I just love what they're providing. It looks so good. Tried to book, and it became a hot mess. I had to like argue to get my refund back because their deposit process was weird. It was like a whole mess. Here are the things that I like to see when I go to book. I want to see that their FAQs or the intro spot on their booking site is well written. I want it to be professionally written. Try your best to read everything and make sure that you fully understand the terms of this person's salon and space, because you have to respect the stylist, but at the same time they need to respect you, and make sure that you feel comfortable with the way that things are written so that there's no misunderstandings or weird vibes when you come in for your appointment. I love it when a service has a very clear description. People call things different things. You can get a basic pedicure somewhere that is a luxury pedicure somewhere else, okay? Make sure you read the description. I prefer for their contact information to be clearly written somewhere because I know that they're opening up that line of communication for me to ask any questions before booking. If you have a question, do not pay and book until you get those questions answered, okay? It could be something as simple as, where are you located? Availability. My recommendation, if this is your first time, book in advance, especially if you're finding someone that offers a lot of services, some cool stuff, whatever. Book in advance if you can. A lot of people now are doing month-by-month availability, which works well if it's like a one-person salon. People love getting their silk presses, especially if you're going to be getting it in the fall or winter time. The season's coming, everyone wants their silk press because they know it's going to last. Don't get left out. Oh, and when it comes to booking, a lot of people will tell you their booking policies and process on their Instagrams. If they're telling you that they're going to release the schedule 10 a.m. on the 1st of the month, go ahead and make sure you set your alarm and be ready to do so. Don't be surprised when you don't get your appointment. The last 2 things is deposit and a simple booking process. I want to know that after I read the descriptions and I click this, I want that, add on, great, you're available Wednesday at 10 a.m. Book that, pay my deposit, I'm done. I have booked, you see it, I see it, we're good. I prefer deposits because when I have gone to stylists that don't take deposits, it's usually oh, I forgot your appointment's today, or can you wait an hour? No. People who take deposits are usually a lot more strict and serious about their schedule and will make sure that they are available for your appointment. I also like deposits that are just going through and then I instantly get my confirmation, because there's no confusion with if they've seen the appointment, if they didn't see the appointment, if the assistant's seen it. Make sure that it's like very clear, very seamless, and if there is someone you really want and their booking process is a little different, just be in constant communication with that person. And that's really it, okay? So I take those 3 steps very seriously, especially step 1. I want to know that I'm going to have a great experience regardless of who I am, what my Instagram following looks like, what my job is. Like, I don't want any of that to come into factor. I just want to know that you are a professional stylist that loves doing hair and making it look gorgeous, because that is what I'm there for. When I follow these steps, I have had the best experiences. I hope I didn't overwhelm you. I hope that was easy to follow, and enjoy yourself. I hope you guys have the best stylist search experience and put me on. Tell me how great it was. Tell me if my steps worked or didn't work. Tell me if I need to add something. Let me know. Ask me questions. Also, if you have any product suggestions or video requests from me, please let me know below as well. And if your idea is selected, you will get a shout out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon. Ciao.